What a beautiful day it is for Thank you. What a beautiful day it is for the Cathedral Parish, for the Diocese of Madison, for the kingdom of God. Because the beauty of virginity is the beauty of our Blessed Mother, whom the Church has always called all beautiful. You are all beautiful, O Mary, and in you there is no stain of sin. The beauty of that virginity shines forth through the order of consecrated virgins in the Church. And I welcome our other members of that beautiful order of which we are so proud and for which we are so grateful. It shouldn't surprise you that there might be 3 points about virginity. We think of that beatitude, that wonderful beatitude, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are those who practice purity, who strive for purity in body and soul. Just as Mary was called to be a sign of contradiction, our consecrated virgins are called to be signs of contradiction in our country and in our culture. Purity is at best scoffed at in our culture and in our society. Sex is a god which our culture worships and is convinced that one cannot live without that activity. It makes no sense to our culture. It is saying that there is a higher priority than human pleasures. And as a matter of fact, there is a joy that comes from purity of heart that can never be replaced by any human bodily pleasure. That joy comes from a freedom to love and to be more like God, who is love. Blessed are the pure of heart, for they shall see God. That is your destiny, Karen, from this day forward, as it has been, but now in a public, formal way, so that the whole Church recognizes your witness with Mary, like Mary, that God is to be worshiped above all and is to remain always top priority for all of us, a witness to holiness that all of us, including myself, need so very much. Secondly, that same beatitude is often translated, blessed are the single-hearted. And that, too, is part of virginity. When the Lord calls someone like Karen to virginity, virginity becomes a matter of obedience. Karen accepts God's call out of obedience because she single-heartedly wants God's will above everything else. That single-heartedness is so important in a world where the vast majority of hearts are terribly divided and terribly confused about where their treasure is and about what they really want. We are really privileged today to have someone witness for us what she really wants. And we are joyful that what she really wants is so much along the lines of the mind of Christ himself. Along the lines of Christ himself. And thirdly, in our country and in our culture, virginity, consecrated virginity, for the sake of the kingdom of heaven, is the strongest proof that there is that God exists. Our culture is forgetful of God and often hateful of God, and certainly passes over his existence in so much of the behavior that surrounds us. But Karen's promise of perpetual virginity can only be explained by the fact that God exists and he gives her the grace to do this. Otherwise, it simply can't be done. And so again, what a strong threefold witness you give today, Karen, all by God's grace. And we thank God so much for blessing you generously with this grace. And we thank you so much for your own generosity in accepting that grace, the sacrifices that it will mean, but especially the joys that it will bring. Praise be Jesus Christ.